What do you do with store-bought broken cookies? I want to know what I can do with them besides just throwing them in the trash. Leftover from the day I had my grandsons here putting up the patio, and they ate a lot of these chocolate chip cookies. They're store-bought, but we had too much. And believe it or not, there were tons of recipes and things you could do with broken crumbled cookies. Stay tuned and find out what I chose to do. Chocolate chips are designed not to melt under high pressure because they want them to stay nice and thick when you make chocolate chip cookies. So they said put them in the microwave with a little bit of water and they will melt. And that's what I did. So now I have some melted chocolate, and guess what I'm making? I am making truffles, chocolate truffles. Who would have known? I always thought truffles were these very high-end, magnificent things that were so expensive and so very delicate. However, they're very easy to make. So all I needed was 8 ounces of melted cream cheese, and I've done that right here. I've melted my cream cheese in the microwave. They're ready to go. And you take the chips. Now, I don't know how many, and this is the only variable. I'm going to do more, but I did test it in my little blender over there, and it does crumble them. And you're supposed to crumble them right up to, you're supposed to get them crumbled very, very tiny. And so I did a bunch of them just to see if my little blender would do it, and they did. So I'm going to do the rest of these. I'm trying to get the right consistency between cream cheese and crumbled chocolate chip cookies. I'm guessing. So we're going to see how it's going to come out. But all I do is mix the 8 ounces of cream cheese with the crumbled cookies and make them into 1-inch balls, and then put them on a cookie tray, put them in the freezer for 30 minutes, and then dip them in hot chocolate. How easy is that? So we're going to do that experiment right now. And I'm going to do the rest of the cookies. Crumble them now. I have some more crumbled cookies. So I'm going to add them to the batch. I might have enough. The recipe is supposed to make 40 to 50 of these 1-inch truffles. So we'll see. And I'm trying to figure out how to get a cookie sheet into my freezer with all of these on a cookie sheet. I'm going to have to figure that out, do them a different way. But this is kind of stuck in here. So far, so good. This is sort of a touch and go recipe here. All right, I've started to mix the cream cheese. Now, it says to do it in the blender, but I doubt if my blender could handle that. So I'm just going to start mixing them little by little, and it seems to be doing okay here. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm adding a little bit of cream cheese, and I have definitely softened the cream cheese so it's working well. Now I've just put in 8 ounces of cream cheese in here, and whether I have to keep adding a little bit of breadcrumbs or more, I'll have to figure out by the consistency. Might have to add more of the cookies, maybe the rest of them. I can't believe this recipe is so easy. See if they freeze up the way they're supposed to. So right now, I have a very creamy mixture here. I doubt if I could get my fingers in there and make them, so I'm going to crumble up the rest of the cookies and hope that it does it. All right, this is all that's left of the cookies, so I'm going to put it in my blender, and if it's not enough to make the mixture a little bit harder, more like dough, I will have to hunt around for more cookies. Noisy. Okay, I've got more mixture in here. It really does a nice job of crumbling up everything here. So we'll see if this is enough. Okay. I hope my chocolate is still saying. I might have to put that in the microwave again to make it softer and a little bit more liquefied. But let's see how this goes. Yeah, this looks better. I think it's going to be more like a real batter, and that's what you want. You want to be able to put it in your hands and make little round truffles out of it. 1 inch round. Then you take out some parchment paper and make these, put them on the, it says it's supposed to make 40 or 50, we'll see. You know, this might still be a little gooey. I might need some more cookies. Tastes good though. You know, I think I have a bunch of graham crackers. Might be cinnamon graham crackers, but that sounds good. I'll add some of those to it. This is definitely a nanny recipe. I did find them. I don't know why I started this project today. It seems ridiculous to save $3 left of broken cookies, but it's a fun thing to do. And Moosey will love the truffles. He loves anything chocolate. All right, I'm going to try the graham crackers now. We'll see if this will do now. Now, they might have come out too fine, so we'll see. That might have done it. So I'm going to get my hands in there, washed hands, which are washed, and I'm going to start making some of these 1 inch truffle balls. Here goes. Well, that's not too bad. I might have, by chance, come across it. Look at that. 1 inch truffle ball. Wow. And every once in a while, if I find something too hard, I'm just going to take it out, because I'm sure every once in a while there was something in there. This is amazing. Oh, if the chocolate works, I will have possibly invented something on my own. Well, not really. Somebody always, if you think you have an original idea, forget it. You don't. Someone else has always come up with it ahead of you, I'm sure. Very easy to do here, but I'm not getting 45 of them, that's for sure. I don't know how they came up with that number. Maybe a little bit smaller than this. Maybe this one's too big. Who knew truffle balls were just a combination of crumbled little cookies? Maybe, I'm sure the original recipe is different, but this is interesting. Okay, I have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 perfect truffle balls. You know, there's so many recipes that when you look online for how do I rescue crumbled cookies, it gives you some great recipes. Everything from tiramisu cakes to all sorts of wonderful cakes with cream cheese and whipped cream and chocolate pudding. And so don't throw away any crumbled chocolate chips from now on, ladies. There's a million things you can do with them. I probably will get about a dozen, I'm figuring, with my mixture that I came up with here. So not 45. All right, now I'm going to show you what they look like. And since I don't have, now I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes and then see what they look like when they come out. And when they come out, I will put the, I will dip them in chocolate. Now I do have to put the chocolate back into the microwave. Now that's the way to melt the chocolate. I do have something else I might try since I have found out that chocolate chips are resistant to melting. I do have a few other things. I did have some baking chocolate that I threw out. Once again, every time I purge I'm looking for what I threw out 2 or 3 weeks later. But this is dark chocolate, no sugar added, and I might try this. I also have a bunch of kisses, so I could try those too. So we'll see shortly. See you in 30. I think I'm going to make the rest of these truffles and have them all ready for the next batch that goes into my freezer that will only hold 6 at a time. So I'll do that now and be ready. These are just some chunky things that were left over. And by the way, look at all my tomatoes that have ripened, and we've got to figure out how to eat these. I'm just going to show you these. If you haven't tried that trick of picking tomatoes when they're just about turning red and then putting them in a box with a banana to emit the ethanol gas, you have to try this. Look at all these tomatoes that I have ripened in a box with a banana that way. Some of these are my heirloom tomatoes. I'm going to have to figure out something to make really fast besides tomato sandwiches, because this is getting to the end. I've just planted, by the way, I did take some pictures of 3 new tomato plants yesterday. So isn't this amazing? Now, as you make these and you roll them, I'm making these a little bit smaller, still 1 inch. My other ones were kind of big. If you notice that something didn't really fine in your blender, just pick it out and put it on the side. I don't have a powerful blender right now, so this should be wonderful. Oh, I hear my Moosey coming in from outside. Okay, you're making nicely. Guess what I'm making from chocolate chip broken cookies?
Oh, baby.
Truffles. You're going to love them.
Those are the ones that are left over from your shopping?
Yes. And look at this. Truffles with chocolate all around the outside. Oh, you're going to love them.
I can't wait to eat them when I come home from baseball.
I know. Ooh. So, I have a good number of them. That's good. He'll probably eat most of them. If this recipe works, gosh, I'll be making these all the time for family gatherings and whatever, because I always thought these were for elegant parties or something. Truffles were expensive, and you only ate them on special occasions. But if these are that good and so easy to make, we'll be having them, and kids can eat them too then. I don't think we ever ate these as children. Truffles were already all reserved for those special times, right? So I might get a dozen here, so maybe we're going to wind up with about 18 altogether. I should have made them all this size. So easy to make. Now somehow, trying to give you the exact recipe of the equality between the crumbs and the cream cheese is going to be hard. But you're going to have to just do it as you mix the cream cheese with the mixture in a bowl. Just mix it until you feel you can make nice balls with your hands and they won't fall apart. That's all I can say, because it was a trial trying to figure it out. The recipe was one of these email me if you want the recipe type things, and I didn't want to do that. So just mix it in a bowl, melt your cream cheese in the micro, and then I think the secret is going to be melting my chocolate in the micro too. Forget the double broiler bit. That wasn't working. And obviously I don't think I'll need it. Now somehow the chocolate chips in these cookies also managed to get ground up. So this is my last one here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. So we have 16 now. So I have all these ready and waiting. And that's it. Did it. By the way, yesterday I was dropped by the thrift shop. I don't know why. By the way, Margie found her chair in her own living room. She decided to switch it to the place where she wanted the chair with the ottoman. She forgot she had a chair with an ottoman. So While I was there, I realized I needed some sort of a glass mixing bowl for videos so you could see what we're doing. And I found one for $3.99 at Goodwill. Didn't go to Savers this time. And actually, the dishes and everything were much cheaper at Goodwill. Who knew? So I'll clean this one up and reuse it again, my friends. How easy was that? Making truffles out of broken store-bought chocolate chip cookies. Love it. By the way, I wanted to show you my blouse. Don't you just love it? The blouse is a thrifted blouse that I got for, I think, $6.99. And I've had it for a couple of weeks and hadn't worn it or tried it on, but it's so comfortable. It has these loose sleeves, which I love, especially in this weather. And the decor on the front is a Battenberg type. It's dressy, but at the same time, you can wear it with everyday cotton or linen pants. And these cute little cropped pants are ones that I got last year on Amazon with the cute little pockets. And I think this is a great outfit. Now tonight, Moosey and I are going to that ball game that he thought was the other day. We were going to race off to it. However, it's at 5 o'clock tonight. And it turns out we're going to have quite a group from the family there. Debbie is going to be there, our daughter, and her daughter Molly, and the 3 babies. Thank heavens we'll see babies. And I think Matt and Cindy are going to go. As a matter of fact, they offered to pick us up, but it's kind of out of their way. And of course, Patrick and his children. Someone else is going to go, but it's going to be great. Patrick has 3 children, so he and his wife, Caitlin, will be there. And it turns out that Patrick is the president of the baseball league in that area. And he is arranging a golf cart for Moosey to get Moosey, because there's evidently a big long ramp to get down to the field. So I don't have to worry about pushing the wheelchair all the way across a grassy field. So that's wonderful, and thank you, Patrick, for that. And Matt has offered to help me with the wheelchair and everything. So it's going to be fun. It's at 5 o'clock tonight, and maybe we'll all meet for supper afterward or something. By the way, I looked again at the top. It's not Battenberg. It's some kind of a machine crochet lace. But sure is pretty, isn't it? I've taken these out of the freezer. It says to dip them, with 2 forks. See how this works? All the way around. It's tricky. And then, I'm going to dip them in some nuts on top, maybe just a little, and then put them here to dry. Ugh, that's scary. I think I'm only going to use 1. Oh, you need 2. Yeah, in order to completely do these, you need 2 forks. Dip it in the nuts on top and bring them out. Okay. This is going to take a while. I have all the rest of them in the freezer, so I did microwave these, and the chocolate is pretty hot, and it did melt well with a teaspoon of water in it just to help, and it's doing it okay. I suppose if you had regular baking chocolate, that would be great. So I'm going to do the rest of them. They look good. Now you could also do sprinkles or something like that, colorful sprinkles on here. I'm going to turn this off now and do the rest of them. Would that kill a diet or what? Truffles, homemade from cracked up chocolate chip cookies and cream cheese. Would you ever think? Well, that's it. I got about a dozen and a half of truffles from broken chocolate chip cookies. Well, that's it for today, folks. Just a whim. I was trying to clean up the kitchen this morning, about ready to throw these cookies away, and I thought, let me see what I can do with them. So that took up my morning. So that's it for today. Now I have a whole kitchen to clean up, and it's a mess. Thank you so much for watching. I thank you so much for your binging and for just being here and being my friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We'd love to have you here. Bye for now, and God bless us all, everyone, everywhere.
All right, there she is, the Queenie, arriving to the game. Getting special. It was supposed to be for Moose, but all right.
Are we having fun?
Yeah, we're having fun. This is the day of my life.
I know. This is great. Who's that behind us? Photo bombing.